Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Look, if you've ever driven on a pitch-black road late at night, you know that exact miserable mix of tension and fatigue, right? We're out there relying completely on the narrow little beam of our own headlights, basically just bracing for that inevitable, blinding assault of glare from oncoming traffic. But what if we completely re-engineered that whole experience? What if the road itself became our guide, and the actual glass of our windshield actively protected our vision? Today, we're going to explore this really visceral contrast between the incredibly stressful driving conditions of our current reality and a breathtaking bioluminescent future. We're looking at visions of the luminous highway and unpacking the transformative concepts that could literally redefine how we travel at night.
To really appreciate the solutions of tomorrow, we first have to confront the very real problems of today. Section 1. The glare of night driving.
Okay, I want you to picture yourself in the driver's seat right now. We're on a virtual ride-along down a dark, isolated two-lane road. You're moving fast, it's ink black outside your cabin, and your eyes are completely dilated, just straining to pick up any detail, any hazard at the very edge of your headlights. You can feel the tension, right? And then suddenly, boom, out of nowhere, blinding high beams just completely flood your windshield with this aggressive, overwhelming white glare. It is a total visceral shock to the system. Have you ever felt that exact sudden visual overload? Well, did you know it can take the human eye up to 10 seconds to fully recover from that kind of flash blindness? To put that into perspective, at highway speeds, that means you are driving the length of several football fields, literally completely blind. In an instant, your visibility drops to absolute zero. The dark road disappears, the lines vanish, and you are just at the total mercy of an oncoming truck's overpowering lights. This plays out millions of times every single night around the world, creating these localized, terrifying moments of danger.
And what's our immediate human reaction to that overwhelming glare? Take a look at this quote describing a driver in this exact scenario. Squinting, looking stressed and frustrated behind the wheel. I mean, that hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the severe discomfort and the sheer anxiety of the night driving experience we all just kind of accept right now. When that white light floods the cabin, our faces instinctively contort. The muscles around our eyes literally clamp down in a desperate attempt to filter out the pain. Our shoulders tense right up and our grip on the steering wheel gets white-knuckled. This isn't just some minor annoyance, it's a full-blown physiological stress response. We're basically forcing people to navigate a highly hazardous, high-speed environment while simultaneously assaulting their primary sense of perception. It's just an incredibly flawed system.
So, let's shift gears. Section 2. Nanotech Windshield Solutions.
The good news is, we don't have to be stuck in this awful cycle of glare and stress. Let's just take a deep breath, slow things down a bit, and transition away from that harsh, blinding light into a sleek, highly advanced world of potential solutions. We're talking about moving from a passive piece of glass that just blocks the wind to a highly active, intelligent interface designed to actually master the light entering the vehicle. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the shimmering, glowing blue nanotech grid you see integrated right into the windshield. Those cinematic neon accents? They aren't just a tint or some cheap polarized film. No, this is an active, microscopic grid embedded directly into the glass itself. That glowing blue hue tells you the windshield is constantly working, actively monitoring and managing the entire incoming light spectrum. It takes the unpredictable hazard of the outside world and acts as a calm, intelligent, protective barrier for your eyes.
So how exactly does this intelligent barrier work? It actually happens in 3 distinct steps. Step 1, instantly absorbing harsh light beams. Literally the millisecond those blinding high beams hit the glass, the nanotech grid reacts to absorb all that aggressive energy. Step 2, converting the blinding light. You see, it doesn't just awkwardly block the light, it actively converts and diffuses it across the grid. And finally, step 3, providing a soft, clear, hypervisible view of the asphalt ahead. So the absolute crucial point here is that it takes a severe, blinding visual hazard that normally causes stress and panic and fundamentally translates it into a calm, exceptionally clear and safe driving environment. You get to keep your eyes wide open, perfectly relaxed, with total visual command of the road ahead.
But let's zoom out even further. Section 3, the luminous highway vision.
Let's see how this whole concept builds from the interior of the car all the way outwards. I mean, it's one thing to upgrade the vehicle, but what if we completely upgrade the actual infrastructure we drive on? This is where the idea truly shifts paradigms, looking way past isolated car improvements to a completely revolutionized network. And this brilliantly illustrates that grand reveal. Looking from above, you can see these self-illuminating, bioluminescent lines embedded directly into the asphalt. Because the road itself is glowing, there's this incredible shift in behavior happening down there. Cars are driving fast, yet there are zero headlights turned on. Seriously, think about that for a second. Without headlights, there's absolutely zero glare. You're looking at a futuristic, glowing city highway network winding smoothly through the landscape, beautifully contrasted right beneath a bright, starry night sky. By making the highway self-luminous, we totally remove the need for individual, aggressive light sources. We swap out the blinding chaos of high beams for a harmonious, ambient glow that perfectly and safely guides every single driver.
So, it all comes down to a choice. Section 4. Which model is better?
Having explored both the incredibly tense reality of our current roads and the serene, almost magical promise of bioluminescence and nanotech, let's really look at this ultimate contrast. On one side, we have the old model. This is characterized by flooding white glare from oncoming trucks, resulting in squinting, stressed out, and completely frustrated drivers. It's a system built on individual, competing light sources that just inherently create danger and fatigue. Versus the luminous model. This is defined by shimmering, glowing blue nanotech grids in our windshields, self-illuminating roads effortlessly guiding the way, and fast cars driving safely through the night with zero headlights on. It's a model built on ambient, intelligent light management that fosters safety, clarity, and most importantly, calm. The extreme difference between our highly dangerous present and this proposed luminous infrastructure, it literally could not be any starker.
Which brings us to the final, glowing question left by our source text. Which model is better? With a bright, neon question mark hanging in the air, the answer might seem totally obvious to us. But the actual path to get there? Well, that is the true challenge. Are we ready to leave the stressful, blinding glare of the past behind and truly invest in the shimmering, self-illuminating highways of the future? I'll leave you to ponder that vision of tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your eyes on the road ahead.